heard? No, what? Well, Google and OpenAI have just had two massive announcements. And, well, don't you think we should announce something? I guess. But what do we have to announce? Well, I found a way to use AI to make ads more intrusive in Windows 11. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go over too well with customers. They don't seem to be really too happy with us putting ads in Windows 11. Try swimming in the new money pool. I'm sure it'll make all your worries go away. Good idea. But what about the presentation? Oh, we can just repackage those announcements that OpenAI made and we have those AI laptops lying around. Great, let's go. In all seriousness though, much like OpenAI, Microsoft's Windows 11 presentation came out of nowhere. When it rains AI news, it pours. Microsoft had to get its own say in the AI news war by announcing a new Windows AI platform branded Windows Copilot Plus. The basic premise of the announcement revolves around a new line of laptops built on top of the ARM architecture. These laptops are equipped with dedicated AI chips on the inside that are able to offload a bunch of tasks from the CPU and GPU. One of the new requirements of these laptops is that they should be able to handle 40 TOPS, or 40 trillions of operations. So if you're in the market for a new PC, this is a trend that you'd better follow sooner rather than later, because it seems to be the new standard benchmark to measure the AI capacity of a computer. To make use of this new hardware, Microsoft showed off a whole bunch of new features coming to Windows 11 that make use of this new AI Copilot, including showing off a Copilot user interface, which honestly just looks like a repackaged ChatGPT. They showed off the user chatting with Copilot while playing Minecraft and sharing the screen, and Copilot giving them tips and hints on what to do next.
Hey Copilot, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great, and it looks like you're about to dive into some Minecraft. Ready to build, explore, and maybe dodge a few mobs?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make a sword. My son plays this game all the time, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
No worries. I'm here to help you impress your son. I see you've got a crafting table in front of you, which is a great start.
While impressive, it's nothing particularly different from what OpenAI showed us literally just a few days ago. You can pretty much do the same thing with the OpenAI desktop app, and it actually has a better voice than the one Microsoft showed off, probably resulting in a more pleasant experience. Other features that were announced, which really seem more like gimmicks to me, were certain menus that link to small AI features, such as a background remover in the Photos app, or some AI suggestions in settings. However, out of all the AI features that they announced, what I did find particularly impressive was the integration of Copilot into various aspects of the operating system. Particularly when they showed off an email being received asking for a specific presentation, and a notification coming up letting the user know specifically what presentation the email was asking for. That would save a ton of time for me because I lose files all the time. The other impressive feature was one called Recall, where the AI basically continuously takes screenshots of what you're doing and is able to understand what is happening in those screenshots and recall things from it. The example that they showed off was the presenter was talking about a Discord conversation that they were having with their grandmother, and how by asking about a dress that they were talking about and describing it, Copilot was able to retrieve the conversation and the dress.
Blue dress. And it pulls together all the dresses I have seen. Now, Grandma decided that she wanted to get the awesome pantsuit that we shared in our Discord chat about 3 weeks ago. Now, scrolling through multiple weeks of chat messages to find that specific dress would have taken an eternity. Instead, with Recall, it was easy. I refined my search using descriptive language. Blue pants.
And while this is incredibly cool, it's also incredibly concerning. There's a lot of issues that need to be raised when considering a feature like this. For example, one of the things that they talked about with these new AI PCs was the combination of online and offline, meaning that some of the AI features would be handled locally on your computer and some of them online in the cloud. Unfortunately, they didn't specify very well which features would be done offline and which ones would be done online, which means that it wasn't clear if these screenshots and the analysis of these screenshots are happening locally on your computer or if they're being sent to the cloud to be analyzed and then sent back to your computer. If that's the case, that can lead to a lot of privacy issues, as everything that you're doing on your computer is going to be sent to a Microsoft server somewhere. I feel like if this was something that was happening locally, it would have been advertised a little bit more aggressively, so it's concerning that it was not. And even if it does happen entirely offline, how does your actions on your computer affect the AI? Is it going to affect the things that it prompts you with? Is it going to affect the notifications that you get, the type of suggestions that you get? And what if you're doing something that you don't want the AI to suggest to you? What if you're doing things for work and you don't want your work things to affect your personal things? There wasn't a lot of information about how this will affect the platform. The other cool thing that was announced was a feature called Co-Creator, which basically looks like Stable Diffusion built into Paint. If you don't know what Stable Diffusion is, it's a phenomenal open source image generation platform. And a lot of the stuff that they showed off here in Paint are things that you can do with Stable Diffusion, such as being able to sketch and having the AI take that sketch and develop it into a final image. While initially really cool, Microsoft bringing up the topic of safety was really concerning because they have a habit of being very heavy-handed with their censorship tools. Just try getting Bing to generate an image for you and half the time it will come back with safety guards about copyright, about inappropriateness, and so on. While I do understand the importance of having these safety features, some of these large AI companies can be very heavy-handed. If you want to be able to run Stable Diffusion with no limits at all whatsoever, you should check out my other channel where we cover Stable Diffusion tutorials in incredible depth. Like, you can't even reference pop culture icons to generate images without these AI flagging the prompt. It can be so frustrating sometimes. Having said that, I really do hope that they are using Stable Diffusion, as it is a phenomenal model. They've just announced Stable Diffusion 3, and Stability AI really needs support from big companies like Microsoft. And signing a deal to bring Stable Diffusion to Windows could be a major godsend for them. There's another feature that they announced which could be fantastic for users, depending on how it's executed. And this is the introduction of subtitles and transcripts in Call. Now, in the presentation, they showed off this feature happening on what appears to be Microsoft Teams.
我们现在有这几个选项，我最感兴趣的是我手里拿的这2个样品，它不仅非常契合工业设计的审美，而且由可回收材料制成的，非常环保。Даша.
Мне это очень нравится, и я уверена, что нашим клиентам понравится, что сам материал экологичный.
And it wasn't clear if the feature is exclusive to that app alone. If we can use this subtitling and captioning feature on any video conferencing app, whether it's Meet, whether it's Zoom, this is absolutely incredible. However, if it's limited to just Microsoft Teams, this could really bring down the hype on this particular feature. If it is built into the operating system though and can be used in video conferencing apps, I don't see why you couldn't use it with regular MP4s. Imagine you've got a movie that you've gotten and the subtitles are terrible, as happens a lot of the times, or you just don't have the subtitles. You could use this to generate subtitles on the fly. Unfortunately though, not enough information was given on what the situation on that is. And finally, they showed off how a bunch of third-party apps can now offload tasks to the NPU. Things that would have previously been handled by the CPU and GPU can now be passed on to the NPU, freeing up these resources for a better multitasking experience. One example that they gave is using object tracking on DaVinci Resolve.
Magic Mask is going to track the jellyfish through the whole clip. So let's take a look at the task manager here. You'll notice the NPU is enabled, Magic Mask is offloaded, and my CPU and GPU resources are almost completely available for me to work on any other task without slowing down my PC.
Which is typically an AI feature that is handled by the GPU. This was now passed on to the NPU, allowing the application to run much faster and allowing the user to do other tasks while this task was processing. They also showed off a CapCut application doing a similar number of AI tasks offloaded to the NPU while the rendering and processing were happening on the GPU and CPU. This is another of the really exciting features coming to these laptops. While a lot of cool things were announced, I was a little disappointed that we didn't see better integration into Microsoft Office and other productivity tools. For example, what would have made the Copilot app a clear differentiator from ChatGPT is being able to take information from the chat and directly dump it into Excel. Particularly since a lot of the times the charts that you get from ChatGPT are not very copy-paste friendly. It would have been great to have a conversation about a business plan, have ChatGPT run up some numbers, and then simply say, put this into my open Excel file. Or another cool example could have been, instead of just showing me how ChatGPT can view the game that I'm playing and give me tips on it, how about actually giving me an AI-powered villager that follows me along in the game and takes advantage of the NPU. That would have been really cool to have a companion that I could chat with that's powered by ChatGPT. And actually, it doesn't even need to follow me around. It doesn't have to have such advanced AI features as that. Simply having a character that you can come back to, ask questions to, talk to in-game just helps that immersive experience and takes advantage of the AI. I feel with the tight integration that they're marketing, these are some missed opportunities that they could have taken advantage of that I don't think would have been that difficult to implement. And then of course there's the issue of all the ads in Windows 11. I'm not sure if I want to give so much of my personal information to an AI that can be exposed to ads which are constantly sending information back to Microsoft servers, third-party servers, and not to mention that AIs have been historically used to exploit platforms. The last thing I want is a bad actor putting an ad that could compromise my system, and all of this information is now available to them. We'll have to wait and see how these AI features are locked down and properly secured on these platforms. So what did you guys think? Are you guys excited for the new AI features coming to Windows 11? Are you still using Windows 10? Are these features enough to get you to jump from 10 to 11? Please let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to check out my other channel where we exclusively cover AI art, Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, and all of that jazz. And if you like what you see and you want to support my channels, please come by and check out the Patreon. Your support means a lot and makes it possible for me to make these videos. Thanks, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.